Whenever the topic of immigration comes up on this program, listeners discuss the importance of ESL training for newcomers. But as a result of provincial government funding cuts, there will be 3,000 fewer ESL students receiving English language training at Vancouver Community College as of December 17th, and 150 faculty members will lose their jobs by the end of the year. VCC has long been the largest provider of ESL training in Western Canada, typically training 46% of all immigrants who take higher-level English language training in BC. Karen Shortt is president of the Vancouver Community College Faculty Association, and she joins me in studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Thank you for having me.
This is, it has to be devastating news for the college.
It's devastating for the college. It's devastating for the community that we serve. BC welcomes about 40,000 immigrants, highly skilled immigrants each year. And Vancouver Community College, as you say, trains about 3,000 students per term in English language. And as of the end of this year, there won't be anywhere for them to go.
150 fewer teachers.
That's correct.
How many will be left?
We have around 700 instructors at Vancouver Community College.
But they don't all teach ESL.
No. We have nursing, culinary arts, hospitality, business, all of the trades. No, we're a working college, and we help people get jobs.
So what is the impact going to be? Where will those 3,000 students go?
That's a good question. We don't know. There isn't the capacity in the system to absorb that many students. We have to also think about the impact on the jobs in this province. Premier Clark is running on a jobs campaign, how important it is to have skilled workers. Most of the immigrants that are coming to this province have degrees. They have skills. They come here ready to work and wanting to work. They make a commitment to this province. And they need some English language training. They have to have a certain level to come into the province, into the country. That's a federal matter. But when they get to this province, they often need to have a higher level of written language skills, reading, in order to be successful in their occupations such as doctors, healthcare professionals, engineers, architects. And Vancouver Community College teaches English language training to the highest level. We have English for academic purposes, and we can meet the needs of people to get in the workforce and to get a job.
What do you say to people, and I get this email fairly frequently, my parents came here 50 years ago. I was just a kid. We didn't have ESL programs. I learned the language.
I say it's a different world. It's a highly technical world. It's skilled, and people are coming, and they're bringing with them already they have a degree. Already they have skills, so they have made an investment to come here. Now, if this province wants taxi drivers with PhDs and security guards that are engineers, then that's what we're going to get if we don't add that extra training that's needed for people that come here to be successful.
So we actually have taxi drivers with PhDs?
Yes, we do.
And those people are now going to fall through the cracks?
There's going to be a lot of people falling through the cracks. At Vancouver Community College, we're training about 3,000 per term, so 6,000 to 9,000 a year, depending on the terms.
How long does it take to become reasonably fluent, job ready with English if you've come here with limited English language skills?
It's difficult to put an exact time on it.
But roughly?
Roughly, let's say a year. Someone needs an extra year of training. That's not a lot when you think of a lifetime of paying taxes. If someone's 30 and they come here and they're a doctor and they need another year of training to get to the level where they can write prescriptions, perform surgery, understand what their patients are saying, they're going to be paying taxes for the next 30 years. So this is a very short, small investment. If it takes a year, whatever. It's a year of investing in our future.
And they will pay it back.
They will pay it back
by earning more money.
Absolutely.
Talking with Karen Shortt, president of the Vancouver Community College Faculty Association. I'd love to hear from you. I'd really like to hear from you if you came here and benefited from English as a second language. Did you come here and get language training, and how big a difference did it make in your life? If you came here without language training and have gotten by and learned the language. I'd like to hear from you too. 604-280-9898. Does anybody disagree that ESL is an important part of welcoming people from other parts of the world? And I mean, I'm just thinking in the last time I looked, the Vancouver School District had about 140 different languages that were spoken as first languages. So clearly, learning English is a big deal when people come to this province and this country. 604-280-9898. Toll free, 1-877-399-9898. My phones are open to you, and I also welcome your participation on Twitter and on Facebook, too. Talking with Karen Shortt, president of the Vancouver Community College Faculty Association. As a result of provincial government funding cuts, there will be 3,000 fewer ESL students receiving English language training at VCC as of December 17th, and 150 faculty members will lose their jobs by the end of the year. I welcome your calls, your thoughts. Patty, good morning.
Good morning. I'm a middle school teacher in Coquitlam, and I teach grades 6, 7, and 8 ESL.
Okay.
What I wanted to talk about was the importance of the adult programs. For one thing, kids that I teach do way better if their parents are learning English as well. And parents who go to ESL in Vancouver at VCC get fabulous instruction, as do other programs, but that one in particular is really good. Another thing is that Karen mentioned something about, people who come in with PhDs and they're driving cabs. So many of them come in with medical degrees or with nursing degrees or with engineering degrees or whatever, but their English is so bad and they have to qualify again here. So they need academic English in order to be able to pass those exams to be able to practice here. And for many of them, it's going back to university for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So they need the academic high-level instruction that they get at VCC.
But don't they also need, Karen, to be able to qualify? For example, a doctor coming here from another country has to pass medical examinations in this country that can take years to just get to be able to pass.
And the language skills have to be, as Patty says, academic, have to be able to understand what is being taught. And that's where VCC comes in. We teach to the highest level. And I have to say, Patty, your comment about adult learners and helping children, that's so true. This province is mandated by law to provide education to adults, and it's important that this province step up and do that. Otherwise, we're going to end up with a group of people who are not earning to their capacity and are isolated, socially isolated because they don't speak the language. And then going back to your very important point about the children at home of parents who speak English, for the long term, that is so important.
Ram, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. To be honest with you, this topic really got my attention to the point that I pulled over, just called.
Good man.
12 years ago, I moved to Canada. I did use ESL at VCC. And God knows where I would have ended up if I didn't go there, but now I'm actually a university instructor.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wow. And very, very fluent in English.
I hope so.
Well, you are. So. I mean, I think you're an endorsement of the program. If what I'm hearing is what I'm hearing.
Well, no, it is what you're hearing, but
I know.
We can talk about endorsement later. But the thing is, I just wanted to say what happened that I actually ended up registering at VCC back in 2003 was I did end up on a cab in the middle of a night from downtown to Burnaby, and I clearly remember the cab driver name, I don't want to mention it, obviously.
Fair.
But when we were talking, he did mention that he was a PhD student who actually got his papers done, and he came here to actually for the hope of finishing that PhD, and he never managed because he ended up working to pay for education and so on and so on, and he just got carried away with the whole. Okay, I have my wife here, I have my son here, I have to earn money somehow, and he didn't end up achieving his dreams.
Ram, how long would you say it took you to become fluent?
6 months.
Very small, short investment for the long term that you've provided to this province.
I totally agree
Good for
with you, and you have to see the amount of tax I'm paying each year.
Ram, thank you.
Good.
Thank you. Carlos.
Hi there, Bill. Something doesn't add up. I immigrated to Canada in 2006 under the skill program. In spite of having done my university studies in the U.S. and working in my home country with a third world country.
What's your home country?
Peru.
Peru, okay.
I worked for transnational companies where English was required. In spite of having all that knowledge of English, I was made to take the English test when applying here to Canada, even though I had submitted proof of all my knowledge. So I'm not too sure, like I said, something doesn't add up. If you're a PhD and you don't pass the English test, how do you get in? Or why don't you study English in your home country before coming in and making the scores?
Is that what you did?
Oh, no, I knew English from studying from before. I learned it as a young kid.
Yeah. Where? In Peru?
No. I lived in the States. I did elementary school in the States, and then I did college in the States.
Okay.
In between, I lived in Peru, and then all my working life was in Peru, working.
But are you suggesting people should have to learn English or French before coming to Canada?
Yes, and they should have a working knowledge of either languages. My daughter, before coming to Canada, she was doing at the Alliance Française. Now she lives in Quebec City, and she speaks English, French, and Spanish.
Karen, what would you say to that?
I'd say people come with different levels of English, and what they need is what's important. So you can't compare one to another. If someone needs English language training, this government needs to provide it. It falls under adult education, and it's something that is important, and it pays back the long term.
Well,
so,
as Ram said, he learned enough to be workable in 6 months.
he may have learned enough. He may have come in with a higher level of training, and 6 months was enough. It's varied for every person, so I don't think you can just put an exact number on it or have an exact definition of what a person needs. The federal government has an immigration policy, and people do need to have a certain level of English to come in. Quite often their spoken English is very good, but written and reading is not quite up to what is needed for the job. So if that's what's needed, that's what this province needs to provide. And that's really the bottom line here. We have to look to the future.
Back with more of your thoughts. 604-280-9898. Toll free 1-877-399-9898. You're with Bill Good on CKNW News Talk 980. Talking with Karen Shortt, president of the Vancouver Community College Faculty Association. That faculty is going to get quite a bit smaller in December. 150 people will lose their jobs, and 3,000 fewer ESL students will be getting English language training at VCC as of December. Lucy, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Your thoughts?
Okay, I just happened to hear the guy from Peru.
Yes.
That just spoke. I came to Canada a long time ago from South America, Colombia. I had 2 years of English, good English, in my country before I left. When I came to Montreal, within less than a year, I was working, and I was going to school at night, improving my English and learn French. I paid for all that myself. So my point is, and now I speak English, French, and Spanish. I wasn't a burden to Canada. On the opposite, I was contributing to Canada. I didn't expect Canada to pay for my studies. My point is, if you're a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever in your country, and you're planning to leave to whatever country, you have to learn the language of that country that you're going to before you leave, so that when you arrive, you're not going to be suffering. So I am an immigrant too. I became Canadian in 1980. And, you know...
Do you think people should be responsible for paying? You think people should be responsible for paying for their own training?
Well, yes, especially if you are a professional in your country, and then you immigrate to Canada and expect Canada to pay for 3 or 5 years of your learning.
Karen Shortt?
Lucy, I congratulate you on your success. It's good to hear, but not everyone is that successful, and some people need a little bit extra help. And so if they need that help to get themselves started in life, we have to be there for them because it pays back many times over. So it's good that it worked out for you. But I have seen thousands of students who do need help, and they come to Vancouver Community College, they get that help, and they get on with their lives, and it's the best thing for all of us. So we can't deny someone. There are success stories that of people coming here and immediately getting to work, and I'm happy for you, but to turn away other people, that's just not the right thing. It's not the right society to live in. It's not the place I want to live.
James.
Yeah, hi there.
Hi.
I grew up here. I actually am putting myself through school as an adult, returning to school. I'm not particularly technical, but I'm learning languages. And I am actually working 60 hours a week and then also going to school to be able to have a degree in languages. I don't see why. I'm all for having the courses available if there's a demand, but I do not see why everybody should be subsidizing them. It really is down to a point where we are now putting at a disadvantage people that are English as a first language because we're spending a lot of money trying to subsidize courses for people that do not speak English yet.
What do you say to that, Karen?
I disagree. I think it's an investment. It's not a subsidy. It's an investment in the future. And people that come to Vancouver Community College are often working another job and going to school. They're trying to have a better life. People come with skills, with good languages, but they also bring their families with them, and their families need English language training. So we can't turn their back on people and say, well, look, I did it, so you have to do it. No, we have to help everyone.
Chris, last call goes to you.
Yeah, Bill, everybody's kind of on the same theme here that I was going to go down. I just can't imagine going to China, India, some of these countries and expecting or even asking for them to flip the bill to teach me their language. A better investment, I think, would probably be to change our policies to make it a little bit more stringent so people have to come in with a better grasp of the English language, and that would benefit, I agree, it benefits our economy.
Okay, let me give Karen a chance to reply because we've just got a very short time left.
I would reply that people are coming here with degrees. They're coming here with skills. And if all they need is English language, let's provide it.
My thanks to Karen Shortt. The news is next.